All right, let's start this review off with talking about the best part of this film. It's directed by Clint Eastwood. Juror 2. It's PG-13. Came out in 2024. It's an hour and 54 minutes. Now, this film almost wasn't presented to us because the head of the studio decided that he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to give Clint Eastwood the praise that he deserves. Well, guess what? Clint Eastwood made your studio as to how big as it is, so you're an idiot. But that's besides the point. I could probably go on for hours about that because there's not been a film that Clint Eastwood has done, that Clint Eastwood has directed, that hasn't been good. Maybe they're not all amazing, but they're all good. They're all watchable. Now, before I get into the premise of this film, let's run down the cast list. We have Nicholas Hoult, who plays Justin Kemp. We have Zoe Douche, who plays Allison Cruson. We have Toni Collette, who plays Faith Killebrew. We have Leslie Bibb, who plays Denise Aldworth. We have J.K. Simmons, who plays Harold. We have Chris Messina, who plays Eric Resnick. We have Kiefer Sutherland, who plays Larry Lasker. And lastly, we have Gabriel Basso, who plays James Michael Scythe. Now, the whole premise of this film is Justin Kemp has his fiancée who is about to give birth at any moment. Well, he ends up getting picked on the jury for a domestic abuse case, which entails James Michael Scythe, who supposedly killed his girlfriend a year from when the court was starting. Now, Kemp ends up getting picked for it, and as the evidence keeps on being revealed, Kemp thinks maybe he was the one that killed the girl. But obviously he's not going to say anything because he doesn't know what repercussions he would get. And so as the case keeps on going, it's getting more and more deeming that, oh, hey, James did this. So, but at the same time, you have Kemp who's sitting here and he's feeling guilty. He wants to do something. So he reaches out to Larry Lasker and he's like, hey, what do I do? And he's like, if you say anything now with it being a year since when you got everything covered up, you're looking at 30 to life. So he keeps his mouth shut. Well, he does the biggest mistake of they're all ready for sentencing and he gets them to deliberate for continuous days, and it ends up sparking Harold's mind because he's an ex-detective, and everything just kind of blows up for Kemp, all because he felt guilty. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel guilty about that, but in a film like this, don't say a word. And anyway, so Harold ends up being asked to step away from the case because he's caught researching and doing outside casing on it, because that's what you do as a detective. And everything just kind of goes to shit for Kemp. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens because the ending you're not going to guess. It's kind of a give and go the whole film, because you want Kemp to go away and you want Michael Scythe to be able to live his own life, but at the same time you're sitting there and you're like, which is the right way to go at it? And this film really makes you think as to how crooked our justice system is, because something like this could easily happen to you and you just don't know it. So IMDb gave it a 7.0 out of 10. I give it a 4 out of 5 because it's only an hour and 54 minutes and it was well worth the watch. I was very glad that I watched it. If you are interested in watching it, it's on HBO Max. But like I said, it's one of those where it's a twist and turn and you're wondering what's really going to happen and what the outcome will be. But give it a watch. Let me know.